On behalf of Faculty of Juridical Science, I Dr. VVB Singh, my presentation topic is on precedent in India under the constitutional law. Next slide, we will present union executive. Union executive means parliamentary form of government, and nominal executive and real executive. Nominal executive is president, and president is the head of the state, and real executive is the prime minister. It is the head of the government. And next slide, president is a nominal head. All the executive and other powers are vested in the president, but they are exercised by the council of ministers headed by prime minister. President is bound to act on the advice of the PM and his council of minister. Next slide, election of president. Election of president means election of president is prescribed in the constitution, article 54. Article 54 says that electoral college means indirectly elected by an electoral college. Electoral college consists of the elected member of Lok Sabha, elected member of Raj Sabha, and elected members of Legislative Assembly of all state and UT. Next slide, qualification for the office of president. Qualification of the president is a citizen of India, and next point is not less than 35-year-old, and should be qualified for election as a member of the Lok Sabha, and next point is should not hold any office of profit. Office of profit is mentioned under article 105 of Indian Constitution. Tenure of president is mentioned under the Constitution, elected for 5 years and eligible for re-election, may resign before the expiry of his term, send his resignation to the vice president, who is the required to communicate it to the speaker of Lok Sabha. And next is oath of office. Oath of office is Chief Justice of India. The oath of the office is to the president, and solemnly affirm swear in the name of God that I will faithfully execute the office of President of India and will preserve, protect and defend the Constitution of India. And next slide is impeachment. Impeachment is just like a resignation, and it is a process of under the Indian Constitution. It is a stage of, it can be initiated by not less than 1/4 of the total membership of any of the house. The members gives 14-day notice to the president, informing him her of the intention of the impeachment. After the 14 days, a resolution is passed by two-third member, and impeachment of second stage is under the Constitution. The president may defend himself either personally or through counsel. If in the other house the charges are proved, the president shall stand impeached. Such a resolution must be adopted by not less than 2/3 of majority of the total membership of the other house. And next stage is president resign under the Indian Constitution. And next slide is power of president. Power of president is divided into many parts, and first part is legislative powers, and second is executive powers, and third is appointment making power, and fourth is military powers, and fifth point is diplomatic powers, and sixth point is emergency power. Power of president is defined. Executive power. Executive power, president is the head of the union of executive. All the executive power are vested in the president, but the president exercises all the powers of the advice of the PM and his council of ministers. Legislative powers means summons, it can be issue and progress and dissolve the house, and second is address the first session of after each general election and the commencement of each year. And next is nominate 12 members to Rajya Sabha and 2 members to Lok Sabha. And next slide is legislative power. Legislative power, no bill can be become law without his or her assent. He may return a bill to the parliament for the reconsideration of certain provisions. He has the right to seek advice from Supreme Court. He may suggest some changes, but if the bill is again passed and sent to the president, he is bound to give his assent. And ordinance making power, making power is Article 123. If the president feels that a law is urgently required by the parliament is not in session, he can promulgate and ordinance remains in force till not more than 6 weeks from the commencement of next session if it is rectified by the parliament. And next is executive power. Executive power means all the executive power of the union are vested in the president, but the exercise them on the written advice of the cabinet. All the executive and administrative decisions are taken his name. And next is appointment making power. Appointment making power, the prime minister is appointed by the president, and next is appoints all other minister on the advice of the prime minister. And second point is the Attorney General of India, the Comptroller and Auditor General of India, the election commissioner, the chairman UPSC, the governor of states, and the chairman finance commission, the chief justice and judges of Supreme Court and High Court, ambassador High Commission. And next is military power. Military power is very important. Supreme Commander of the Armed Force and appoints chief of staffs, declare war and make peace, head of the Nation Defense Committee. And next lies is diplomatic power. Diplomatic power is very important under the Indian Constitution. The foreign policy is conducted in his name. All international treaties and agreements are signed in his name. Appoints ambassador and high commissioners. Foreign ambassador, high commissioners are aggregated and received by the president. And next is judicial power. Judicial power is very important. It is a cover under the Indian Constitution. Right to grant pardon, reprieve and respite, remission, suspension, commutation of a sentence by any court of law. He can grant pardon in case a convict in awarded the death sentence by a federal court or court martial. And next power is emergency power. Emergency power is also covered under Indian Constitution. It divide in part 18. Article 352 to 360 parts 18 of the Constitution contain the emergency power of the president to meet extraordinary or the abnormal situation, national emergency. Article 352. Constitutional breakdown 356, it is the presidential rule under the state. Financial emergency, it's also covered under Article 360 of the Indian Constitution. And next is we will discuss emergency under Article 352. 352 is a national emergency. It covers under the Constitution if the security of the India or any part of the state by war, external aggression or internal armed rebellion or disturbances, the president can issue a proclamation of emergency. on the basis of written advice tendered by the cabinet. The highlighted word added by the 44th Amendment, validity of emergency. The proclamation of emergency shall be submitted to the Parliament for its approval. It must be approved within 1 month by a special majority in the both house. Otherwise it shall cease to operate. Duration will ordinary base 6 months. Effect of emergency. Effect of emergency is very important under the Indian Constitution. Federal provisions are suspended under the state list. Direction are given to state in matter of state list. Parliament acquires power to legislate even on the subject contained in state list. Country virtually becomes a unitary state. The tenure of Lok Sabha can be extended up to 6 months. Other imposition of emergency, it covers 26 October 1962 Chinese aggression, revocation, and two Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru press Radhakrishnan, and second is 1971 Bangladesh war, and third is internal disturbance. Effect of emergency under Article 356, it is to be placed before the presidential rules. It is very important under the Indian Constitution, both of house within a period of 2 months. It will ordinarily last for 6 months, can be extended by another 6 months, and only if election commission reports that the election cannot be conducted, can never be allowed for more than 3 years. Consequences of emergency under Article 356, the State Council of Ministers is dismissed, the State Legislative Assembly is dissolved or kept under the suspended animation. The President may assume or any function of the state vested in Parliament. The President governs the state instead of an elected Chief Minister, but administratively the State Governor is a delegated executive authority on behalf. And next is imposition of President rules. The first time imposition of 1952 and presidential rule, Jammu and Kashmir and Punjab, there are so many provisions under the presidential rules. Imposition of governor rules, presidential rule in Jammu and Kashmir, and second provision is emergency provision and center-state relations. There are so many provisions under the Indian Constitution. The powers of the Union to issue direction to the state government, Article 256. Under this article, Union government is empowered to issue direction to the state government. Non-compliance of central directives in tantamount to the failure of constitutional machinery. We will also cover effect of financial emergency. Authority of a union shall extend to giving direction to any state to observe such canons of financial propriety as may specified in the direction. It may also include a provisions requiring all money bills to be reserved for the consideration of the President, the salary and allowances of all or any classes of persons serving in the state, including the judges of the Supreme Court and High Court. It is a very landmark judgment of emergency. It decided by the Honorable Supreme Court against arbitrary imposition of Article 356. S.R. Bommai versus Union of India. The 9-member Constitution bench held that President power under Article 356 to dismiss a state government and imposition of precedents rules in the subject to judicial review. The power is a constitutional powers and not an absolute power. It is a very landmark judgment under the constitutional law. Thank you very much.